was walking with my donkey searching for you.
Puzzle's done some obstacle work. He's had a lot of good trail time now, and we're getting a real good understanding of maneuverability, which of course is the first necessary thing. If you start doing too much of the scary stuff before you've got good maneuverability, it's going to be hard to convince them to do the scary stuff, okay? So Puzzle's definitely learned to yield over when he's told. He fumbles around a bit more trying to find the footwork. But he's getting a really good understanding. And you know, some of these guys too, there'll be a difference in their own athleticism and within themselves. And one thing I am finding with Puzzle is he's not going to be any great athlete. He's a little clumsier on his feet, just not as balanced an animal as an animal like Ortega is. So, and you know, I want to assess that quickly so that I can allow him room for that, because it is who he's going to be. He's not going to be quite the athlete that you wish he would. But through it all, there's no reason he still can't learn the maneuvers. So Mike asked me to talk about the location of the leg cues, which really for me, there is not a change in the location. So if you watch my foot from this side pass cue to this turnaround cue, you'll notice my right foot did not change. And then right back into the right side pass. Okay, so for me, it isn't about changing my foot. The change is coming from how my foot is speaking to him in combination with my hand. So what I've taught him is to listen to the pressure coming from my leg and what it speaks when he feels it, compared to what the directional is coming through my rein. So this changes his bend and tells him to take it around. My leg come in and said, keep your butt put as best as you can and bring your front end around. So now if I want this to go to a front end pivot, leg would still hang the same, but I'm going to interfere with his front end movement with my hand to stop his front feet before he moves them too much, and only allow his butt end to move. So again, it isn't anything about the change that happened in my leg other than the pressure changes as I'm speaking. It's what my hand did to affect the motion that was happening from his body. Okay? So, with that, I got all this foundation start of Puzzle, you know, listening to my pressures and understanding that I, of course, am going to pressure him enough to get a backup. I'm going to pressure him enough to get him to yield off my leg in case I want to open a gate. And I'm going to pressure him enough to understand to go forward, and to go forward at obstacles that he might not necessarily like. And if he tries to back out like that, my leg is going to come in and tell him, no, you can't look away, give it a try, everything's cool, just like that. Okay, so the whole time as he's thinking that out and he's deciding if it's all good, my leg is just there lightly supporting him, telling him where he's got to go, and to stay brave, stay forward. Right here, the crooked, I'm going to catch him up with my front. Leg is on, my left leg is on, telling him don't bail. The end of the bridge is right there, and stay on target. Okay, you guys get that? So if my leg had not come in at the same time my hand straightened him, he would have bailed. My leg was the wall that said, nope, you're short of target here. Stay off the leg. And this is why training in the pressures, the response to the pressures is so important before you go on to the obstacles, okay? Because without him, I wouldn't have been able to block him and he would have fell off that bridge. Hi, Loki. He's fine. So let's see if Puzzle's brave enough to carry me through the tunnel. Oh, scary, scary. Good boy. Same thing, guys, without much doubt of whether it's safe or not, without respect for the pressures and again the tool, you know, my spur being there, even though I didn't need to use him, made the difference of him quickly making the decision, don't break the rules, do what she asked, go for it, okay? So if I had faced him with that and I didn't have a spur, I definitely opened the door again to what we seen Ortega pull, is a quick, no, I'm not doing it. So, and I don't want to let him go there. I want him to know I'm always the decision maker and I'm always going to be right and it's always going to be safe. Good boy. The question was how young to start these donkeys. I'm going to add the under saddle. Okay, so I typically will have been on them late in their 3-year-old year, but I will have also been doing a lot of things like Loki, where he through his whole young life is going to be on some level of conditioning. He gets ponied out on the trail with me now. So he's going to stay fit. He's going to stay out in the big world. I have big plans for Loki. So the better he can be, the better for me to enjoy him. And he will probably be the last baby donkey I raise, because I'm hitting that age where I don't need to be raising another one. So he's it. So by the time he's 3, he will have the physical foundation and all the experience to go enjoy him lightly. I won't ask him to do a lot. And it will continue into his 4-year-old year, still ponying him a lot, packing him lightly, and once in a while riding him. By the time he's 5, that's when I really want to be able to go on with him. And you know, if all the work has been done, they just step out into it so fun and with such an attitude about everything. They're just so positive thinking that it's just neat, you know. And so her question was, when I start to teach the pressure, do I have my spurs on? Excellent question. Because no, I don't. I ride a lot of rides. And I even brought again, I don't have the subject to show it, but I brought a little crop, because what I do in my initial rides is what is to me way more donkey friendly, is the help of a crop, the help of a stick. You know, there's a reason why if you look at a lot of the third world pictures of guys using their donkeys, there's nothing on their heads and they've got a stick in their hand. They are more easily driven from the hip forward than to poke on their belly initially. So I will use a riding crop to get a lot of the start of my very, very basic understandings of the yield to the pressure. And then as the confidence is there and a little bit of the dullness that comes with them being too familiar, I will then put on a light spur and then just keep upping it as they're ready for the performance. So, but just, you know, just a little riding crop like this, you know, I can get a donkey that doesn't know to move over as much with this and have a better attitude about it than if I right away go into poking on their belly when they don't know what I'm asking in the first place. And again, I want that to be positive effort and a reason. You know, I want them right away starting to think about how there's absolutely no reason not to cooperate with what my signals are telling them, to give it a try and try really hard to figure it out. Okay, so great question.